mortgage is far beyond our expectation.
It's the safest way of owning a house.
My mouth is full of appreciation to Federal Mortgage Bank.
It's nice to have you join me on yet another episode of the program Everyone Deserves a Home, a program designed to update you on the activities of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. I am your anchor, Zuleyhat Belagubir. Glad to have you join us. There are over 84,000 NHF contributors in Enugu State. With this notable number of contributors, the bank is making remarkable investments in the state to meet the various housing needs of these contributors. In this episode, we will bring you details of how much the FMBN has done in Enugu State and what the bank is doing for its contributors in the state. Later in the program, we will share the story of yet another beneficiary of the National Housing Fund. But before all of these, we begin the episode with issues making the news from the Nigerian housing sector. See you after the short break.
One, two. What?
Sorry, comrade.
Thank you.
As an up-to-date contributor of the National Housing Fund, I will advise you to just apply straight away for a mortgage loan. Yes, there are several types you could apply for. There is the rent to own a home loan. There is the cooperative loan. There are several of them. Instead of paying so much money to these Shylock landlords.
At the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, everyone deserves a home.
The board, management and staff of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, deeply commiserates with the family, relations and friends of late Dr. Adewale Adeoyo, OON, the chairman, board of directors of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, who passed away on Friday, 15th October 2021 after a protracted illness. During his stewardship at FMBN, the bank and indeed the country had benefited immensely from his vast experience and wise counsel, and that his absence will be greatly felt both in the bank as well as by housing industry stakeholders in the country. While we mourn the exit of this great icon, we strongly pray that Allah in His infinite mercies will grant the soul of the departed eternal rest and accord his family, relations and friends the fortitude to bear this tragic loss.
On the news tonight, FCT office holds sensitization exercise for the informal sector, and FMBN to partner with Gapstone developers in providing homes.
The FCT1 branch office of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria recently took to the streets of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, on another sensitization exercise for the informal sector within the satellite towns of the FCT. First stop was the Dutsen Alhaji Market, where staff of the bank engaged both sellers and buyers on what the NHF scheme is about and how to go about benefiting from the scheme.
You contribute 2.5% of your income into the scheme.
Ẹ ní àǹfààní láti yáwó láti kọ́ ilé ara yín. Yìnyín dò mọ́nà ìgbà ìnámútọ́mùkẹ́ Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria.
The team stopped at the Kubwa market to reach out to more people. Branch Manager FCT1 Office of the FMBN, Benga Babade, disclosed that the essence of the exercise is to inform the informal sector that the bank caters for them as they form majority of the nation's workforce.
What we want to do is by taking it one step at a time, by going to different markets. We've been to Dutse Alhaji, we've been to a market in Wuse, we've been to different markets. So we are reaching out to these people, so that we don't want them to be unbanked. So that's why we are here to let them know that Federal Mortgage Bank also caters for them. That they are in our high. They are people that we care about. They are people that we want them to benefit from the scheme. We want to tell them about mortgage finance. We want every Nigerian to own a home, like our logo says.
Also speaking, Zonal Manager FCT Zubaida Umar also explained the necessity of the event, noting that small income earners are expected to join the scheme as an easy way to benefit from any loan product the bank offers.
We expect each Nigerian that is present here that is above 18 and an income earner to be able to join this scheme, the National Housing Fund scheme. We also have other products. It doesn't have to be just the mortgage. We have the home renovation loan, for example, whereby these market people can come and get funds where they can renovate their houses.
The managing director of a real estate firm, Gapstone Developers Limited, Dr. Adetoru Bank Omotoye, has disclosed that the firm is partnering with the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to bridge the housing gap in the country by providing affordable houses in Lagos State. Dr. Omotoye stated this while addressing newsmen recently. He noted that the partnership with FMBN is to provide mortgages for the subscribers of the houses. He added that the houses will be built to cater for middle-income earners. Also speaking, Chief Investment Officer, Gapstone, Dr. Bolanle Golden, also disclosed that the firm is partnering with the FMBN to put NHF on the table for off-takers who qualify, while adding that every subscriber to the property will get their titles and use them for any purpose they want. Gapstone is set to develop Zirconia Heights, which comprises of 60 units of 1 and 2 bedroom apartments, ideal for first-time owners and investments.
The program is still Everyone Deserves a Home. Coming up next is assessing the impact of the FMBN, and in this episode, we stop in Enugu State, southeast Nigeria, to see just how much the FMBN has done in that axis and what plans are in place for more deliverables. Don't go away.
This is iConnect Estate, located in Trans-Ikulu Layout, Enugu. This is a product of the Cooperative Housing Development Scheme of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, where over 104 families are being housed in this estate. Elsewhere in Enugu State is another mass housing estate, Elim Estate, which comprises over 324 housing units for low and medium income earners. The University of Nigeria Nsukka Cooperative Housing Project is yet another derivable of the FMBN in Enugu State. 500 units have been proposed for this project in a span of about 2 years. So far, about 60 units have been developed for this project. These and about 7 other estates have been developed by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to house low and medium income earners in the state. Some other completed estates in the state are Bethel Estate, Goshen Estate, Jubilee Estate, FMBN NLC TUC NECA Housing Estate, and the iConnect Cooperative Project Loan 3. In Enugu State, there are over 84,265 contributors contributing to the National Housing Fund scheme, with a total contribution of over 5 billion naira to the fund. This represents about 90% compliance to the scheme by the public sector. With this much compliance, the Enugu State Office is doing so much to include the private sector.
Our mobilization plan and activities, it's doing very well, and we're getting more people into the scheme, and we're getting more contribution from people into the fund.
Sometime last year, the FMBN commissioned a 100 housing unit estate for the FMBN NLC TUC NECA Collaborative Estate in Ede Obala, Nsukka. This estate stands as the first commissioned estate of the FMBN NLC TUC NECA pilot project, second phase. This only represents the bank's commitment towards providing affordable home ownership for average and low-income earners in the country.
They are really affordable because we always work with the labor union. So we always make sure that we work within the salary scale of the Nigerian civil servant.
The completion of the estate will also have the bank's efforts towards providing houses intensified.
Obviously, in trying to meet the standards set by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Buhari, he's somebody that is very passionate about social housing. So when we came, he gave us a marching order backed by our minister, Rajiv Fashola SAN, that we must try as much as possible to spread in this country social housing to every state as much as possible. When we came to the second stage of it, which is cooperative housing, window must reach at least every senatorial district. We're driving on that. So we couldn't achieve that without the robust cooperation of NLC, TUC, NECA at top level, and we're also happy that there's a collaboration at that level that has trickled down to state union leaders.
Ensuring quality for its projects is one area the FMBN does not take lightly, and developers understand this.
If you take a look at some of the structures here, even the finishing, the plastering, and then the lots of things we've been able to do, you will see that we went extra miles to making sure we provided the people with what will stand the test of time, not what we do today and tomorrow. Someone is already complaining that my wall is cracking, my this is doing that, and then all that. So we believe in quality, and that is exactly what we delivered here.
And our intention is do something that looks good, and you can see that the off-takers are really very happy about, the quality of housing we are doing. So right now, we are actually not talking about profit. And there are several reasons. This is our home. We come from here, and we want that decency in this place, even if we are not making a lot of profit.
For many NHF contributors in Enugu State who may have not gotten houses, accessing the home renovation loan has been impactful in the state. So far, over 1,831 beneficiaries have benefited from the home renovation loan. Over 1.4 billion naira has been disbursed in that regard. Over 1,371 housing units have been completed in Enugu State, many of which have been allocated.
You know how it feels like when you are in a rented apartment. Every year, you think of how you are going to cough out a lot of money to give to your landlord, and then that anticipation, that tension that comes with it at the end when the rent is up, But when you have your own house, you are relaxed. You are paying in bits because it's a mortgage. You are paying in bits, and anything you do in the house is yours, so to say. So it's very calming.
There is this feeling, this good feeling it will give you that you own your own property. And not every one of us will be able to afford the land, buy, build, and all that based on level of income. But so when this came and saw this offer, and I saw that, look, this is one quick way for me to own a property. And of course, you can also underestimate the joy of having your children grow up, play around in, no matter how small you think the property is. So that encouraged me to go ahead, have a property where you can raise kids up, and not having to be monitored, so to speak, by your landlord, or limiting what you can do, what you really have joy to do, either to grow garden or plant flowers. You may not be able to do that in somebody's property.
As is customary with the FMBN, any contributor who retires or unfortunately dies is entitled for refunds, and workers in Enugu State have not been left out of this. In fact, over the last few years, with the commitment of the current management, turnaround time for loan repayment has drastically reduced.
I'll give kudos to our management for this wise decision to look at turnaround time, because in business, time is money. So I'll give them kudos for that. In refund, it's 1 month, 28 working days from the day you submit your refund application. In 5 days, we are done with it here, and we'll send it to Abuja, to the head office for further processing and payment. And I assure you, in 28 days, you have your refund in your account.
Currently, about 621 million naira has been refunded to about 6,213 contributors. It is the plan of the FMBN in Enugu State to key into the 5-year strategic plan of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. And that plan is to have more people benefit from the different loan products and services of the FMBN.
The board, management and staff of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, deeply commiserates with the family, relations and friends of late Dr. Adewale Adeoyo, OON, the Chairman, Board of Directors of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, who passed away on Friday 15th October 2021 after a protracted illness. During his stewardship at FMBN, the bank and indeed the country had benefited immensely from his vast experience and wise counsel, and that his absence will be greatly felt both in the bank as well as by housing industry stakeholders in the country. While we mourn the exit of this great icon, we strongly pray that Allah in His infinite mercies will grant the soul of the departed eternal rest and accord his family, relations and friends the fortitude to bear this tragic loss.
Welcome back. Informal sector inclusion has been one of the drivers for this current management of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. This dream is coming to fruition as many from the informal sector have learned about the FMBN and are beginning to take advantage. In our next segment, Dream Come True, we will bring you the story of a beneficiary from Kano State who took advantage of the scheme and is today happily occupying his home.
The payment process is quite flawless.
It was unbelievable because I didn't know that they have such a scheme existing in Nigeria.
Is it true that I will get the house? No, why not? We met all the requirements, so we'll get it.
The joy of ownership is wonderful.
Sani Abdul Qadir is a businessman in Kano State. He deals in painting and decorations, and it is safe to say he knows about houses. When he heard about the Federal Mortgage Bank and the National Housing Fund, he decided to give it a try.
I heard that the federal government under President Muhammad Buhari's administration built the houses for people to own. I went to the mortgage bank, filled the form, and followed other procedures.
After inquiries from the FMBN, Sani was told of the different house types available, and he opted for the 3-bedroom bungalow because of his children. He got the house at the sum of 10.5 million naira and paid 2.5 million naira as equity.
The actual amount of the house is 10.5 million naira and was required to pay 20% equity amounting to 2.5 million naira, which I did. Therefore, I was given the keys to the house with an explanation of how I will gradually pay the remaining balance.
The repayment, he says, is an easy one for him. He has 15 years to repay, which is very convenient for him. Sani says the house is spacious which was his attraction. Other factors drew his attention to the house.
When I saw the house, I said this is the right place one should be, because there is everything one needs in a house. The building is of high standard with good location and environment. The road network is also good. Power supply is steady in addition to good drainage.
The elated homeowner says he did not know anyone from the FMBN before he got his home. His call is for people to be bold enough to take advantage of the scheme.
Initially, I thought the house cannot be accessed by a common man. But when I went to the bank, I was proved wrong. Therefore, people should not be afraid with FMBN. It is simple to own a house because I didn't lobby nor bribe anyone before getting the house. I'm not a civil servant. I'm just a small businessman. And even people with low income now have their own houses through the FMBN.
Allah ya sa na mallaki gida din gaskiya babu wani wanda na ba wani cin hanci ko kuma wani wata hanya da aka yi min a'a kawai dai an yi ne dama don a taimaka talakawa.
Our question for the week is, how can an average Nigerian own a house through the National Housing Fund?
The decree that established Federal Mortgage Bank Act 1992 stipulates every Nigerian that earns a minimum of 3,000 naira. Now it's 30,000, that is the minimum wage, can benefit from all the products of the bank. The condition is, 1, you have to be a contributor to the scheme. 2.5% of your income, whatever your income is, you contribute to the scheme. You open an account. With that account, every month you'll be contributing 2.5 of your monthly income. When you do that consecutively for 6 months, you'll be eligible to qualify for any of the bank products. 1, to buy a house. 2, to construct, that is to build a house. If you have your land that has title, CFO, with approved building plan, the bank can finance the construction of that land for you to turn it into a house. Or 3, to renovate a house. You could have a house that over time you need to improve on it. Maybe you want to paint, maybe you want to repair your roof, or things like that. The bank can also give you a loan that is called home renovation loan to do that.
The National Housing Fund is open to all Nigerians who contribute to the scheme. So, if you are a contributor, please stop by at any of our branch offices near you for more enquiries. If you are yet to begin contributing, it's not too late to start. For more information about us, please call the number currently showing on your screens or log on to our website on www.fmbn.gov.ng. You will also find our various office addresses there. You can also catch up previous episodes of the program on our social media handles, also displaying on your screens. Until next week, when I'll come your way again with another exciting package, remember to stay safe. Have a good night.